Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. This is Optibotimus coming to you with another video review. And on today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at the new Transformers Titans Return Deluxe Class Sergeant KUP with Flintlock. For the package, you got a really cool image of Flintlock detaching from KUP on the back card, as well as an open clamshell that fully showcases the figure, as well as all of his accessories. The package has that very similar look with other figures in the Titans Return line, as well as an image of KUP in both his robot as well as his vehicle form. And it says, with the Decepticons rising, the Autobots power up with Titan Master partners to stop them. Decepticons recoil when they see Flintlock and Sergeant KUP. Flintlock gives Sergeant KUP the ability to blast enemies with bursts of metal melting acid. But for the packaging on this guy, that's about it. So without further ado, let's get him out here and see how cool he actually is. Alright guys, so here we have the Transformers Deluxe Class KUP opened up and out of its packaging. And as you can see, he's an updated look to his original G1 Cybertronian truck. Now, a few years ago, and I do not remember the name of the line that it was under, we did get a more modern look for him, giving him more of that Earth truck mode kind of look and feel. But this goes back to his classic look, and I really do like it. I'm going to take a closer look. As you can see, color-wise, one thing that I'm actually really surprised about are the tires on here. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see that, but yeah, you can see it actually pretty well. They're actually translucent in terms of their color, but when they get up towards the top, it kind of makes it look black, and then when it's on the bottom, kind of looks like it's clear, as if it's hovering. That's kind of an interesting look for it. I do dig that. Same kind of thing going on here in the back. You can really see it with my lights kind of shining through there. I actually like that. And then, as I said, when you look at it from kind of any other angle where it's going to have something behind it, they look black, which is really cool. For his weapons, you can see that he's got these two kind of blasters that peg here on the back. So setting that off there, just very simple kind of guns. They're just molded in this gray plastic that you can put together and have like this little double barrel thing. What's weird though is vehicle mode wise, there's no real place where you can peg this in. You got the little holes right here, but they're too far apart, so I don't necessarily understand where you're supposed to peg that in other than have him hold it. But then you got these two handles here, which is kind of strange. Now Flintlock, you can see, flops kind of back and forth in here. He does tab in, but it's very, very difficult to get him to actually line up with the little slot section. It's all the way in the front of the little cab, so I usually just will kind of put him there and just let him flop around. But you can take Flintlock, you can bring him on. A very simple kind of look for him. You just got the gray plastic, no real paint detail or anything, and then he's got the kind of bluish green color that the back section of KUP makeup. But you can take this and you can put him here, and there you go, get that lined up. And you can have him sit in there. And then again, like I said, you can have him be like a little target master or something, and you can have KUP hold him. But it's weird because it's just, you got two handles here, and there's no real place that I see where you can actually do anything with that. Now, I mean, granted, you could probably put it like there or something, or maybe off on the side. Now, they actually do show on the instructions, you can take this, and you got a whole bunch of different peg holes right here. You got one right here kind of in the middle that you can have him do his little thing if you just wanted him standing there. And I don't even know why you would do that. I guess you would have to do it on this side where he would be like in the middle of these two guns. You can do that, or you also have some here that are on a diagonal, so you can put them kind of turned on the side right here. So wedge that in there like that. So now you can see he's kind of facing off on the side, and you can have that, and you can have the little guns kind of going off on an angle, and obviously you could have another Titan Master kind of standing right there. It's all weird how they do it, because like I said, I mean this is all cool. I just, like I said, I find it weird that they have that where you can't really do anything with that anywhere. You got a couple peg holes here as well, so if you were so inclined, you could put them on the side too and not really do much. Now, I guess you probably could have them sit there because you got one little peg hole, although you'd have to do it on the side because it doesn't really fit that way. So you could do that, and honestly, it looks a little bit better if you go like that, where you have the opposite side where it's a little bit more mechanical looking on that side. So you could do this if you really wanted to. It's kind of strange looking, but the overall look for KUP is really very, very cool. As I said, does have that classic look, so getting my arm in the way and bringing in the classic G1. Now, this is my original one from way back in the day. You can see very similar look. You know, you got like that front section where the cockpit is, and then the long back section, very much like that. Now, he is a little bit shorter, but he is, well, yeah, he's a little bit wider too, so proportionally, he looks a little bit off from the original one. Whereas the original, you know, you had this like sleek kind of look. This one looks a little bit more clunky because of how short that is. I do wish that was a little bit longer, but he's already a fairly good sized Deluxe in terms of robot mode, so I don't mind it really too much. But you can see colors look really good. Now, obviously, the G1 toy colors don't completely match with how the G1 cartoon looked. I would imagine Takara will probably go that cartoon route, but color-wise now, granted, this is a little bit discolored because of the age, but you can see that you got that very nice color here in the front, much like on the new one, and same thing with the back. One thing that is different is you do have the clear window, which it is a little bit bluish in terms of the color, whereas this is just painted. So again, Takara might go with the cartoon look and actually maybe even give this a full-on paint job or something. So overall, really cool. I do like how they even kind of filled this in where it actually has like headlights right there, whereas this, you just had his arms. That was pretty ugly. Now, again, looking at another KUP figure, this is, I don't remember the exact line that this was, but this was a repainted version that came with like a green energy looking hot rod. This one is, I mean, this is Takara, but it's done up with like these little scratches and stuff kind of on it to make him look a little bit older. But this is that more modern one that I was talking about. As you can see, it has more of that Earth mode kind of look. Obviously, much larger than the new Titans Return one, but same basic kind of look. For me, though, I do like the original kind of Cybertronian kind of look on him. I think it looks cool. I mean, it's what I think of when I think of KUP. So this works really nice. Now, first transformation, really very, very simple and cool on it. You got the side panels right here. You want to detach this on both sides just like that. Come around here to the back section and make sure you lift or lower these, get these out of the way, and then you swivel these, get this all the way spun around, swivel that all the way around like that, and then you got a hinge here and a hinge here. So bend that, and then this section will come in and lock into place. You can then come around here to the bottom, get your little fingernail, fold out his foot, and this little piece right here then can come down, and that will actually tab in the back section there, kind of completing his leg. Bring this piece down and just push that in. It actually does kind of friction in there very nicely, and that completes the lower part of the leg. So again, do that on this side. Make sure that you get this all the way locked in. Bend here and here, making a little bit of a rectangle. Tuck that in along the side there. Bring out the foot right there. Rotate this section down and lock that into place. Friction that into place like so. There you have the legs done. Then you can hinge this section back here, rotate down at the waist area, bring this down, lock that there, lift this up, and then you hinge this all the way in and accordions in on itself, and then you bring that down just like so. Take these, fold these out like so, rotate them down, and then detach the forearm section from the upper part of the shoulders, so you can extend that all the way down, bring down the hand just like that. Do that on this side, bring this down all the way, bring the hand, lock that into place, straighten them out just like so. Come to flintlock. Obviously, you take him, you just rotate him around, make sure that the head is straight, and then you tab that in, and there you have KUP in his robot mode. And when it comes to his robot mode, I think this is where things get a little bit more updated. He definitely still has a lot of the same elements of KUP, but I think his overall presence is a little bit sleeker and a little bit more modern looking. He still absolutely looks terrific. I love the way that he looks. It's just, he seems a little bit younger, I guess. I don't know if that makes sense, but he doesn't seem like the grump that we're used to. Now, for the comparisons, here is the G1 version. One aspect that I'm really very impressed with is how thin he is. I mean, he's almost flat. There's like nothing there, whereas you actually had some like the upper back kibble on the original G1 version. Now, this is where a lot of the colors kind of are similar as well. As you can see, he's got the gray helmet piece, much like the G1 toy. The G1 cartoon did not have that. So some people are going to look at that and be like, oh, well, that doesn't look accurate in terms of the colors. It actually is, but it's accurate to the toy. So I really am curious to see what Takara will do with it. But for the other comparison, here is that more modern, classic-looking one. And this had a lot of junk all over it. It was my favorite cup up until really this one. I mean, this one has a lot more of that, more cartoon kind of look. And then obviously he's got like these little scratches kind of throughout him, but again, you can see that he does have a little bit of a backpack, and the Titans Return one is just absolutely streamlined. But I think that's something in terms of the colors here is what we can expect more with the Takara one, because like I said, this is the Takara version of whatever version this was. So I think something like this is what we'll get with this new guy. But really very, very nice. Obviously, like I said, you can have him holding his guns in both hands. I don't know why you would do this. Like I said, I was talking about it before, and I'm just going to show it here. It just looks weird. I mean, I don't mind him having like a double barrel gun, but it looks just strange having him hold one side of it. So you do have that. Articulation wise, much like all the Titans Return figures, it pretty much just rotates, really doesn't look up and down. I mean, you can kind of just wiggle it, but it's not really part of the articulation. And then that head sculpt looks really nice. Kind of old looking, not as old as I would like, not really wrinkles. I mean, he kind of, when you look underneath the eyes, it kind of looks like he's got bags under his eyes. So again, some extra paint details would probably really help. You got that really nice Autobot logo there. Obviously, you have his chest section here. I think that the chest will look really good if it was painted this solid color. So again, I'm really curious about the Takara one. But for the rest of the articulation, because of the transformation, he does have this hinge where you can pull his... you can reenact when he was ripped apart in the original movie. So get that back on there. So you can hinge that up if you want to, but you also have a ball joint right there that does move in and out like that, and you get a full range of motion there. He does rotate at the upper part of the bicep. He's got two joints here at the elbow, kind of as part of the transformation, but really does help to give a full range of motion with his arms. I guess you can move his hands out, and you can have him be very happy if you really wanted to. He does rotate at the waist as part of the transformation as well. The hips are on ball joints, so you get a nice range of motion there. They move in and out. They rotate at the upper part of the thigh. He bends here at the knee, and then I guess you could kind of say that his foot at the front section does articulate. So lots of posability in him. In general, really very happy with him. I kind of think that these little pieces right here bulk him up a little bit. Like I said, I mean, it kind of gives him a very, I don't know, kind of youthful look. I don't know how to describe it. He just seems like more of a young kind of warrior. But I really do like him. I think he turned out great. Now for his transformation back, very, very simple. We're going to detach the head, set that off to the side, take the wrist, and they angle outward just like so, and then you bend them up here. You got a little peg right here that's going to slot into the hole right about there. So just push that in just like so. You can rotate this around and then bend it at that hinge, and then bring this in and tab that down. You got the little slot section right on the inside there that you're lining this little tab piece up and into. So just bring that in, lock that into place just like so. You open up his chest. Well, you can rotate him all the way around. Open up his chest, and then you accordion all this out like so. Bring this piece out like that. Bring that down, and then line that up, and then just hinge that down just like so. And now you have a weird looking thing here. I don't know. Make sure that you keep the leg straight. It'll help things line up a little bit easier. Take this section, rotate this forward. Do that on this side as well. Just bring this down here. You don't really lock this into anything per se. It just kind of sits here. But once you get everything tabbed along the side, these actually stay in place very nicely. So then when you have that up, detach this side panel and, tuck the foot around, rotate this around, and then hinge this around like that. Then bring this all up, and then you got little tab sections here and here that are going to slot in on the sides here and here. So you just bring that up lock that into place, and push that in, kind of keeping that all there. Do that on this side as well. Rotate this, pull this piece down, rotate this around, kind of put that where you're going to want it. Bring this up, line all that in, squeeze that together, and then these little pieces just kind of, like I said, rest together like so. Bring this back section, lock that in, bring this up, come around here, push that around there, give that a little push, and there you have them back in this vehicle mode. Again, you can take these, you can then put these in the back here. It doesn't really matter which way you do it, I guess. But if you wanted to have that gun kind of aspect on the back, you could do that. Obviously, you can take flintlock. You can sit them down here in the middle. Like I said, it's tricky to get it in there. There's not a lot of space, so I'm just going to sit them right there and then close that. But when you're done, there you have KUP back in his vehicle mode. Overall, though, really fun new figure. It's always great to get a figure that doesn't reuse any engineering from a previous figure, and KUP here absolutely doesn't. The transformation is very simple still, but it's fun, and it does a lot of different things. And one aspect about it being simple is that I've enjoyed transforming it 100 times already. Just going back and forth again. It's fun and it's easy. And I think that's really key for kids to enjoy this. It lets them stay in that moment of play, where you can be going, look, I'm KUP, I'm driving around, look at me. And then you can transform them really quickly and still stay in your little make-believe world. That's one thing that things like Revenge of the Fallen Transformers totally destroyed for kids. It's not fun when you're sitting there driving around with Optimus Prime and then have to stop and transform him for 10 minutes to enjoy the rest of the battle in robot mode. This is a lot more fun to play with. And hey, they're toys. They're meant for kids. So I think that Hasbro has done a great job with this. However, I would probably say that my favorite look is the vehicle mode, just because it really does homage that original look for KUP so much more. The robot mode looks great, but he just seems a little bit younger, which isn't a bad thing by any stretch of the imagination. It's just if I were to pick a favorite, my favorite aspect would be the vehicle mode. So if KUP here is a figure that you'd like to add to your collection, he will be hitting various retail locations fairly soon. Or as always, there's Big Bad Toy Store. So all you have to do for that is click on the link down in the video description. You go to BBTS where you can check out availability on this guy, as well as the rest of the wide range of Transformers Titans Return figures. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. So once again, I want to thank you for tuning in. This has been Optibotimus. Don't forget that if you like this video, to please hit that thumbs up button. It goes a long way towards helping me out, and I'd really appreciate it. Also, be sure to subscribe in case you haven't already subscribed. That way you get instant email notifications whenever I upload a new video, and you never miss out on a future review of mine. Or if you're already subscribed, be sure to click on that little bell right below this video and double check your settings to make sure that they're set so that you get those email notifications. And as always, until next time, be excellent to each other. You're at your best when the going gets rough. You've been put to the test, but